Sup, yo? It's your boy Vusi Max back at it again. As I promised, I said I was gonna drop an analysis video for you guys, saying I got you on that one. Alright. So listen, man. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are ready for the week. I got a couple of trades, man. I don't want to see trades because I haven't opened them yet, but I got a couple of analysis, man, that I know I'm about to make some bank this week, guys. So just follow them and see if, I'm sure you might have some of you guys might have them already analyzed and stuff like that, but if you don't, you might really wanna and I mean really wanna add them on your watch list. And then, you know, if you're not part of the WhatsApp group that I got, or you don't know about that, you seriously wanna be part of that, and the link is in the description box below. It's not paid or anything. It's just like where I got, I got my people there, and I just like to send the setups and everything, so you can like directly apply it from there. Because as you watching the video, but to go there and analyze it again, just like, I don't want to keep talking, my nigga. Just click the link in the description box below, and it's gonna take you there, and that's it, right? So let's go right into it, because I don't want to waste any more of your time. I just want to get this done with, so you guys can have this, and let's be ready by tomorrow. All right, let's go. Alright, y'all, so at the moment we're looking at the USDJPY, right? We're gonna go to the monthly time frame, and we're here now, right? Damn, it's showing me like 1994. That was before I was even born and shit. So we're not trying to go back to 1994, obviously, but we're trying to look at what's been happening from 2014, right? So what I want us to focus on is what's going on from starting from this point coming onwards here, right, to where the price currently is right now. So the general rule of what I want you guys to look at and to focus on, so you can catch this money when I catch it too, is I want you guys to focus on the highs and the lows, right? Let's look at the highs and the lows and see if we can identify a relationship between either of the two, and let's see if there's a pattern, and then let's make a general conclusion of what we're gonna do in terms of this one. So starting from where we at here, it was a brief consolidating period. The market was basically moving sideways, and then we peaked. God damn. Hey. So speaking of the charts, right? I was gonna say y'all should stop interrupting me when I'm busy charting here, but the person who just hit me up right now is the person on my free WhatsApp group. So shout out to you, Lunyelo, bro. So if you don't know, I have a free WhatsApp group where I send signals, I send all analysis and stuff like that. And shout out to you guys who are there following this analysis that I keep making for you guys. It makes a difference, to know that it's you guys are also finding it helpful, because I'm eating, but I want to eat with you guys also, right? So shout out to you, man. And the link is in the description box below. But let's go back to the charts, right? I hope nobody's gonna text me again, because I'm doing this on the phone, All right, but let's get it. So we had a correction right here. The market was moving sideways, and then we peaked. And then there was a little high here. So that's not what I want you guys to focus on, right? I want you guys to focus on the levels which are basically standing out from a chart. So we can just disregard this whole thing by just saying this was a movement, this was a push to the upside, right? And then this was a high, you can clearly see, and this was a low, you can clearly see there's a low there. then this was where the market kind of started acting weird. So this was a lower high, basically. It was lower than this one. But every time the market came down, instead of, isn't it like if we have a trend, guys, the highs and lows are moving in the same direction. So since we're saying the price was rallying up, we're supposed to see the highs getting higher, but instead the high got low, but the lows are still higher than the previous lows. So the general like consensus of what I'm seeing here is, I don't know if consensus is the right word, but man, they should be just popping out in my mind. So let's just go with it, right? So what I'm seeing here is the lows are basically going up, right? And we can basically conclude that there's a trend line that we can draw here, and I'm gonna draw it right now. So this is what I want you guys to focus on. I want you to connect basically this kind of like correction that I was telling you guys about, right? We're gonna look for the longest wick, which is the this one. Then that's where we're gonna join. That's where we're gonna start our trend line, and then we're gonna join it with the second low that we had, right? So when it starts looking like this now, then we have to move the trend line to the current price of where the market is at. And I don't mean to move the whole thing, I mean to move the trend line, right? So as we move it, then we see it's basically the whole chart starts to make sense now, right? We don't have a correct like a general movement. Like we're not going upwards, we're not going downwards, but we're about to either go upwards or downwards, right? So this is what I want you to do. I want you to also join the highs in a similar fashion that we did in the lows, like this. Look at what you're gonna do. You're gonna start drawing a trend line from there, right? From the peak, basically. Then you're gonna join it with these candlesticks which are there, because if you join it here, it's gonna cut through our, it's gonna cut through the movement that's happening here. And this is what we want to focus on. We don't like, as much as we see here what's going on, that's only important so like it can guide us, like so that basically we can know what's gonna happen here, right? So we're not completely disregarding this, but we're using it to further understand what's going on here, because we can know everything we like there is to know about what's going on at this part, but it's not gonna pay us, right? We want to know what's going on here so we can eventually catch a wave, and that's what's gonna pay us. So now we're gonna move the trend line that we just drew to the current price, like so. All right. So what you basically can see now is this market basically it's consolidating, and since it was pushing upside, this we can take as a continuation pattern and expect to see the price go higher, right? Is we can expect to see this whole distance that the market covered here to actually make it and make higher highs, which is higher than this one. So this might even like trend higher for like I don't know how many more months and stuff like that. But I just want you to analyze this, and then basically after having this, I'm just gonna change one line into a color that we can see which one is for the highs or the lows, right? So the lime green line is for the highs, and the blue line is for the lows, right? So now we're gonna go into the H4. So in the H4 time frame, basically we can see that the market has kind of been stuck in this high, that in this resistance zone that we kind of have here. And listen, for this chart, right, guys, I just want you to focus on the monthly time frame. I'm gonna look for intraday moves, right, in the H4 time frame as the week goes on, and I'm gonna make another video on this. But right now, like, just keep this on your radar, because listen, man, there's a whole lot of money that I know I'm gonna make on this one. So I want you guys to also be part of that. With the pandemic going on, like, it's important to see how the market opens before we can make such assumptions, right? So I'm gonna talk about that during the week. All right, so let's go on to the next chart. All right, guys, so with the next chart that I got for you guys, it's the Euro USD. All right, so before we go into anything, before we start drawing the trend lines and everything, I just want to highlight two levels that are like really important. Friday's daily candlestick close made it back to the resistance zone, which is the previously at this point, which was back in 27th of March. And then prior to that, we had a brief consolidation phase in a smaller time frame, which occurred there in early in March also. So this level is important because, like on Friday, the daily candlestick close showed weakness, meaning we failed to close above that. And this is a sign of a retesting zone, right? And this level, we want to highlight it in the case that if we do sell this market, right, that's where we're going to like want to pay attention to, because it's looking like this market is in a range form, meaning it's just the price is basically like bouncing either at the resistance zone or the support zone, right? So now let's go into the trend lines, right? So what you're gonna wanna do now is you're gonna wanna draw this two levels. These are key levels, right? And then I also wanna show you what's going on here. We're gonna look at the lowest point of this chart, right, which is there, and then we're gonna look at this higher low, and then we're gonna look at this higher low also. So we're gonna draw our trend line from there, join it with this higher low, right? This is what I was telling you guys about, right? I'm seeing sort of a channel in this chart as I'm looking at it now, so I'm just gonna draw a line so we can see if it is valid or not. All right, guys. So I was trying to like think of the word. It took me like 10 seconds. We're having confluence at this zone, at the level where the price currently is. We're having confluence because we're having more than two basically technical signals at this zone. So I told you guys that we closed. This is seen as a negative sign. Like this is a sign that there's a weakness in the price of whichever thing you're looking at, because if this candlestick closed above this zone that we're looking at now, then we would have considered that the price is probably going to go up and then come back, retest, and then go back up again, right? But now this kind of candlestick close shows weakness, and because of this channel now, that this line that we just drew because of 1 and 2, we can clearly see that this would also mean weakness in this channel, and so we'd expect the price to go back down somewhere, either this trend line or back at the resistance, at the support zone, right? So this one we're gonna have to trade it in the H4 time frame. So let's go into the H4 time frame. Okay, so this is the channel that we're talking about. This is the channel that we're looking at in the daily time frame. So now when you come back into the H4 time frame now. So looking at the H4 time frame, the price came to the resistance zone, and then we saw a bearish engulfing candlestick. So if you don't know about this, this is in the basically it's not a pattern, it's a candlestick formations. So we can look at candlestick formations at key levels, and they can how they behave at those levels tells us basically the market psychology behind the price, right? So this is a sign of weakness because we were at a resistance zone, and if price still had strength, we're supposed to push through it, but we see a candlestick that's even longer than the candlestick that touched or made contact with that specific zone. So this shows us that there's strength into the sellers, right? And I'm expecting this to go down just by looking at this candlestick, so depending on how the market opens, obviously, then we're gonna sell. And I'm gonna let you guys know how to maneuver around this one in the group chat that I'm telling you guys about, the WhatsApp group chat. So I'm gonna send everything detailed. I'm gonna send like detailed these analysis. I'm gonna send them into the group, and then we're gonna talk about how we can go into this kind of trades, right? So that's it for the Euro USD. This is a very beautiful looking chart. I'm excited for this one. Looks like money, man. All right, so let's go to the next one. This is the GBP. All right, guys, so we're looking at the GBPUSD on the daily time frame, fam. All right, so what we're gonna do right now is obviously we can see what the price is at. So we need to analyze what's going on here so we can like understand what's going on here. That's gonna guide us into opening a trade, right? Everything that happened from this point going backwards, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter right now. So what we're looking at is what's going on here, right? So we see we had a high there, we had a lower high, and then the market is basically pushing back up now. But the lows, starting from there, the market has been making kind of like lower lows. It made this low, and then we had a lower low there, and then the market is pushing back up. I'm gonna draw a trend line joining 1 and 2, right? It's gonna look like this. So our trend line is gonna look like this now, right? Just gonna adjust it like this. So this is how our trend line looks, which is why I was saying this is a higher low. This is a lower high. This high is lower than this one. So I just basically connected this with instead of this week, connected with this one, because judging from the candlestick closes, we can see that this is clearly lower than this, right? Alright, so if we draw a trend line here using 1 and 2, it's basically going to be sort of an uptrend, so to speak, right? So let's draw it so you can understand what I'm telling you guys about. This is what I want you guys to understand, basically. So this level is important. This trend line is important because not only did it make contact with the candlestick once and this time and here, which is 2 times, but we also saw here that the buyers kind of tried to fought to pick the price up, but the sellers were too strong, and then we had a selling off of this market, and then we made a new low here, right? So at this low now, the price is pushing back up, but we can see that this clearly, the highs are lower. The highs are getting lower. So I'm not, if we didn't have the green line that I just drew here, I would expect the price to basically just retest at this blue zone and then have another selling off to a new low. But now that we have this green trend line now, right, I'm expecting to see bearish momentum right there, and then that's when the selling off is going to happen. So let's go into the H4 time frame so we can talk about, so I can tell you what to do, right? So now that we're in the H4 time frame, I want you guys to focus basically on what's happening here. So now, if the market basically pushes back up, we're gonna have a confluence there because we have this trend line and this trend line, and two of them. If the market goes there, that's gonna be a very strong signal, right? And then if every time there's a confluence, according to like all the times when I've traded these kind of markets, I've seen very strong momentum following like that specific confluence, either it being resistance and the resistance support and a mixture of a combination of a trend line or two trend lines at the same place. Expect to see momentum, right? And then what I want you guys to do, I want you to draw a trend line starting from there, coming to this low. We had a low and a higher low there, right? So, guys, I hope, like, as you guys look at this type of analysis and stuff like that, you can clearly see that, listen, man, if you just focus on the lower time frames, it's easy to get misguided and think that, this market is an uptrend when clearly it's not an uptrend. All right, so let's draw the trend line. All right, so this is the trend line that I want you guys to draw, and basically draw this on the H4 time frame. And because you know that when we looked at it on the daily chart, we're expecting to see this market go down again. In the H4 time frame, you're going to draw this line, and then you're going to look out for a candlestick close that's going to be below this line, right? So this price might go up there, and then if we start seeing bearish momentum, then you can sell there. But if it keeps going and then it goes below this orange line that I just highlighted for you guys, then that can be a signal for you to open the second trade, and then lower your SL from the first trade. Or even if it doesn't happen like that, if the market doesn't reach that point and then you basically cross this trend line, that's going to be a signal to sell into this market, sell into strength, and then we're going to see a drop. Then expect to take your profit somewhere at this previous low, right? So that's going to be enough, that's going to be a good takeaway depending on the lot size you're using. But just keep this on the radar, right? This is gold. This is the last shot that I have on my arsenal of the trades that I'm looking forward to this coming week. And with gold, like, what I like about the commodities is, like, listen, I don't even have to use a ridiculous lot size with this one. Like, it's very, I don't want to say easy, but it's kind of feels like it's easy to make money when I'm trading commodities, because like they don't even have to move that much. Like we just 0.20 lot size, I can be taking, you know, some a couple $100, you know. I want to see basically how this market is going to look if we draw a line starting from there. 1, 2, and then see what's going on. So let's do it. Alright guys, so this is the trend line that I'm telling you guys about. So let's go back to the full screen. So at this point, guys, I'm not gonna keep talking about the highs and the lows, because I've been talking about those for the previous charts that we've analyzed together so far. So the trend line that we make, we have to move it to the current price, and when we move it, we do see that we make perfect contact with the last low that this market made, which was this one. So now we're having a trend line that's valid because we made contact with the chart more than once. So it was 1, 2, 3. That's how we got, right? And then basically what's happening right now is we can even see like a channel formation here, right? In the sense that if we draw a trend line starting from there, right, to there, that can be like a way for us to look at where to set our TP, right? So let's do it. Alright guys, so this is what I meant when I said this can be seen as a channel, because we can see that if we basically draw this line, we can kind of use it in case like we don't know where to take profits and stuff like that, right? So this being in the H4 time frame, we can then draw a reversal, right? Because this is clearly an uptrend. We made a high there, we made a low, and then basically, like, I don't want to keep talking about these things because I said, like, we already spoke about this. So let's draw a reversal line. So a reversal is for those who don't know what a reversal is every time the market goes against the trend. Within that trend, it's still a trend, but the price is just like moving against the trend, right? So that zone is basically starting from there and then going down, like starting from there to there, right? So let's draw the line so like you can basically just click. So this is what the line looks like, guys, right? So the general rule when it comes to a reversal line is that whenever a candlestick closes outside of that reversal line, just gonna zoom in here so we can see, which is this candlestick. You're supposed to buy, right? So this is a buying signal, right? And then we're gonna use this high there as a, let's see if, I think I missed out on a resistance zone, right? Let me just like peek back. No, it's not a resistance zone, but like as far as taking profit goes, right, I want you to set your TPs at this zone right here, right? Because I'm sure as soon as the market like gets back to that zone, if we do get to that level, then we're gonna start seeing some sideways movement. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to place orders at the previous high of this candlestick, of this longest candlestick. I'm just gonna zoom in a bit, bring it back. I want you guys to place orders. Wait for the market to open, and maybe we might come back down to retest. Wait for the price to go down a bit, and then have a buy stop order at the recent high, which is there. And then, you know, depending on where the market turns, I'm gonna also let you guys know as I open this trade, because I'm gonna tell you guys basically what's going on as I went to open, where I have my SLs, you know, the standard procedure. And if you're not in the group, I don't know what you're doing, man, because you really should be in the group. You see, I told you. Now I told you that the analysis is late. You see what I'm telling you about, right? So I'm excited for the week, man. I don't know about you, but you should be too. I know I'm about to make some bank, y'all. So let's do this thing. All right, I'm gonna be sending signals to the group, and I'm gonna be letting you guys know what's going on. But I just wanted to say, like, real quick before the video ends, like, listen, man, I'm gonna be moving tomorrow from vendor to PTA. I want to be going to Pretoria, back to Pretoria tomorrow, so I want to make that happen. So I might not be active tomorrow. Actually, don't really expect me to be active tomorrow, but on Tuesday we're gonna be on in the WhatsApp group, right? I'm gonna be telling you guys what's up in the WhatsApp group. But for tomorrow, don't expect me to be doing anything at all, man, because I'm gonna be on the way, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's that. And if you watched the video, thank you for watching till this far. Alright, thank you guys for being awesome, man. I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Alright, peace out.
It's not personal.